Amy Klobuchar expected to announce 2020 presidential bid politics. Klobuchar is expected to make the announcement on Sunday at an outdoor event on Boom Island, a park that juts into the Mississippi River in Minneapolis. The projected high on the Klobuchar's speech on Sunday will lean heavily into her Minnesota roots, including the grit that it takes to draw people to a political event in sub-freezing weather. Minneapolis and the nearby Mississippi River will also play a central role in Klobuchar's speech, according to an advisor. There, Klobuchar will say, Klobuchar will follow up her event in Minnesota with a trip to Iowa on February 21, where she will speak at the Ankeny Area Democrats' Winter Banquet and Fundraiser. Klobuchar's presidential aspirations have not been a secret to many in her home state and around Washington. Klobuchar told reporters in early January that she was getting She told CNN in late December 2018 that it was a big Klobuchar run, according to people who have talked to her about the prospect, would cast the senator as a deal-maker who is able to get things done when things need to get done. She will cast her. Klobuchar's team believes there is an opening in the Democratic primary for someone who is able to relate to voters in Iowa because of her local ties, but is also able to talk to Democrats eager to beat Trump in 2020 as well as win back Trump voters. That is where Democrats believe Klobuchar's electoral record will factor in. The senator has consistently overperformed against other Democrats in Minnesota, winning her 3 terms in office by an average of 26 percentage points. Klobuchar won re-election in 2018 with 60% of the vote, visiting all 87 Minnesota counties during the campaign, including 42 that went for Trump in 2016. This win helped burn. Klobuchar has a liberal voting record but is not considered as liberal as other candidates running for president or considering a 2020 run. Klobuchar does. Some Democrats question whether her more moderate voting record she supported, for example, Trump's nominations of Wilbur Ross, Mike Pompeo, and John Kelly and a host of other nominees, is left enough to succeed in a Democratic primary. According to 5, born in Plymouth, Minnesota, Klobuchar returned to her home state after attending Yale University and getting her law degree at the University of Chicago. She began her career
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.